students, today we will start a new chapter tissue of class 9. And in previous classes we had discussed the fundamental unit of life. It is the next step how the cell comes in group and form the tissue. Let's see. And when the evolution occurs, then it starts from the prokaryotic cell, then eukaryotic cell. The cell comes together to form tissue, then the tissue will come together to form the organs, and the organ will come together and form organ system, finally the organs. What is the motto of this organization? To make the most highest possible efficient system. Let's see how it is done. The group of cell will form the tissue, then the group of tissue will form the organ, then the group of organ will form the organ system, and finally the organism. What is the motto of all these? It is just to make the highest possible efficiency. How? What is the principle behind this? It is the division of labor. To divide the labor in different groups so that the outcome is more efficient. So we define the tissue as a group of cell of common origin. First thing it should be at common origin and perform common function. Or in a simpler way we can say that it is a group of cell in similar structure to perform specific or particular specific function. Okay. Tissue. The study of tissue in science is known as histology. The father of histology is Xavier Bicot. It is very important one. Okay. The term tissue was given by Grew, but we'll see that these facts are more important. Now let's see the tissue we will see the tissue in two different categories. First it is plant tissue and second it is animal tissue. Now what is the importance of this to categorize in two different things? Let's see the comparative study of plant tissue and animal tissue. We had started in histology as we have completed our psychology portion. So, tissue, the plant tissue and the animal tissue. Let's see quickly. In case of the plant tissue, as the plants are having the sedentary mode of life, they don't have to move here and there for search of food. They withstand all the situation of environment like high sunlight or exposure of sun rays, then storm, then we can say the rain. They have to withstand in that position being upright. For this they need the supportive tissue, and these supportive tissues are mainly made up of dead cells. So the plant tissues are having more quantity of dead cells. Okay, so the plant tissues are mainly made up of dead cell because these are form the supportive tissue. And supportive tissue, why it is required here? They have to withstand with all environmental conditions. They are sedentary, they can't move here and there. and they have to upright with all situations. So they need more supportive tissue, which is made up of dead cells. Most of the cells, not all. In case of animal, they can move, they are more active, they can be active, and they are having the more living tissues. So more quantity they are having the living tissue. Then the second, it is pattern of growth. Pattern of growth, in case of plant, there are the dividing cell localized in particular region. These tissues are known as meristematic tissue. Except this meristematic tissue, plant tissues, other plant tissue not able to divide. And these meristematic tissues are localized at particular steps. So the whole growth is divided into, or the tissues divided into two types, the meristematic and permanent. So the pattern of growth in case of plant, it is limited and it is divided into two types of tissue, the meristematic, which have the ability to divide continuously, and at the same time the permanent tissue, they don't have the capacity to divide. Then in case of animal, comparative to the plant tissue, the animal tissue show the more uniform growth. So there is no demarcation like the dividing and non-dividing cells. And the third one is structural organization. Structural organization, considering it as the plant tissues are sedentary, their mode of life is comparatively, they don't move here and there, they form their food by themselves. So their structural organization at the tissue level is simple as compared to the animal tissue, which is complex. So here the structural organization is simple and here it is complex. Why is it so? Because of different mode of life. So it was all about the comparative study of animal and plant tissue. Now let's see at first from the simple one, we'll start the plant tissue. The whole plant tissue, we have discussed it earlier and I had mentioned it, the whole plant tissue is divided into two parts or two types of tissues are there, which is the meristematic tissue and second it is permanent tissue. Permanent tissue, meristios. The Greek word is meristios. Meristios, which means dividing. So it itself says that these are the dividing tissue or the group of cells which are continuously dividing. Okay. We can classify meristematic tissue on the basis of their division, on the basis of their position, but here we will only, there are the four criteria, but here for classification of meristematic tissue we will consider only one criteria, which is the position of meristematic tissue. So on the basis of position of meristematic tissue, these are basically three types. First, it is apical. Second, intercalary. And third, it is lateral. Let's see at diagram basis. Suppose it is a plant. It is its apex. These are the branches coming from here. And at the lower side, it is going to be wider. Okay. So at the apex, we get the apical meristem. At the node region, okay, these are the node from there where the leaves arise. These are something like this. In fingers, we can observe they are the nodes-like structure. They are comparatively more compact and having these a special type of meristematic tissue. These are known as your intercalary intercalary. And here, parallel to the long axis, it is lateral meristematic tissue. So position we can see. Now let's see. In apical meristematic tissue, we can find at shoot apex or root apex. Along with this, we also find it at axillary buds, which help to form flowers and branches further. Then these apical meristems comes under the category of primary meristems or promeristems. Because on division they form the primary cells. We will see it later. And the apical meristems help in increasing the length of the plant. Intercalary, I have shown the location or the position they found at the node region. They are primary meristems. They help in increasing length of the plant. And a very important thing, if the grasses, suppose these are grasses, these are grassed by the herbivores and only this portion is left, then these grasses can recover this portion because of this intercalary meristems. So it is found in grasses which help to regenerate the grassed portion caused by herbivores. Okay. And finally, we come to the lateral meristems. These lateral meristems are found parallel to the axis. Okay. So these are parallel to the long axis. We can see long axis it is just parallel to this. Okay. These are secondary meristems. These help to increase the diameter of the plant. Okay. Or the girth of the plant. Diameter or girth or thickness of the plant. They found in the mature region of the plant, so we say that they are the secondary meristems. Why? We found it at the mature region of plant. And example of these are cord cambium and vascular cambium. Okay. So that's all. It was all about the meristematic tissue. One thing which I had left to discuss, the characteristics of meristematic cell, as they are the dividing cells. So there are some special characteristics performed by the meristematic cell or shown by the meristematic cell. Let's see. They are the living cell. Okay. They have the thin cell wall, large amount of cytoplasm, and large and prominent nucleus, very smaller absent vacuole, and nuclear material. Okay, one was they are compact, means they have a very small or less intercellular space. It means that space between two cells is very less or absent. So they are compactly arranged. Now you can see that all these characters are the characters of active cell. So it shows that meristematic cell. Why the meristematic cells are dividing? As they are very active, they are showing these characteristics. So it was all about the meristematic tissues of plant. In our next class, we'll discuss about the permanent tissue, which is simple and complex. Hopefully, it will help you to understand the basics of tissue. Thank you very much.